Hello, today I'll be doing another level design speed build in Super Mario Maker 2. This course was inspired by another user course I'd seen, where you're forced to grab a cursed key at the beginning, so that the Phanto Mask enemy will chase you for the entire level. Afterwards, that course had many cursed keys all throughout that you could also grab. However, these keys served no gameplay purpose because no matter what, Phanto would chase you all the way to the end. Instead for this course, I plan to include cursed keys as hazards that will summon Phanto, but also include key doors for the player to expend those keys and stop Phanto from bothering them. Koopa Troopas will also be a primary element, used to collect coins for the level's clear condition. To begin this build, I experiment briefly to ensure that dispelling Phanto worked as intended, and to double check the rules that controlled how many keys the player can carry at once. The player can carry one key for each pair of key doors present between each subworld. I made sure to add a few sound effects on these key doors and cursed key at the start to help convey how grabbing the key is harmful and that entering the doors is beneficial. I now start constructing the brief platforming section that will lead to the subworld, where the player will continue collecting coins to meet the level's clear condition, all while avoiding cursed keys. The mushroom platforms are a little too easy to ascend without having to worry about Phanto, so I changed them to solid blocks. This makes entering the first doors a little more worthwhile. I also place a small group of coins so the player has to backtrack a tiny bit, allowing Phanto a chance to interfere. I'm thinking about what the top of the flagpole challenge will be for this course, and for now I plan on including a Goomba shoe at the very bottom of the subworld. Carrying it back up could allow the player to jump higher and reach the top of the goal for a bonus 1-up. After a bit of tidying up, I proceed to building out the subworld. I drop the player on top of the maximum amount of key doors a subworld can contain, to make it as clear as possible that traveling with the doors is not their purpose here. This will be a central hub to escape to, and to dispel Phanto by using any collected keys. Because unlocking all doors makes it impossible to pick up more keys, I have to add another pair of doors to the overworld. I place this pair in a location that is inaccessible, so keys can always be collected. I add some coin collecting challenges that only require basic platforming, approaching coins from above and from underneath. I remove some keys because they are too close to the entrance, and I thin out clusters of keys so that the player won't grab too many at once and be overly punished. I include enough coins on the left side here so that the player cannot get them all in one jump, requiring them to engage with the challenge more by skirting the edge of the lines of keys. The gap is also wide enough for the player to easily jump through. Now I introduce Koopa Troopas on small cloud platforms, so that they stay put and can easily be knocked around to collect coins as they touch them. I made sure that the ceiling was at least 2 units above these Koopas, so that jumping on them was fair. Spikes are added so that kicking the Koopa shell is required. I had several variations on this shell kicking challenge in mind, so I quickly typed up some notes. Each new challenge presented would develop the gameplay idea further. Eventually I introduced a twist in these challenges. Kicking the Koopa shell sets the player up to also collect a cursed key if they don't act appropriately. In one case, a key will always be collected, so the player must identify this and prepare themselves for what is about to happen. An observant player might do this one last. I adjust the difficulty of movement back to the top of the subworld by turning solid blocks into a semi-solid mushroom platform, and vice versa. At one point, I also changed the color of all mushroom platforms to green for better contrast with the enemies and collectibles. I then add a few more coins to collect through some simpler jumping challenges. The cursed key right here adds substantial difficulty to this area, and after some more playtesting, I would have considered removing it. Finally, I changed the goalpost challenge to only a running jump off a mushroom platform, as I did not have enough room physically for the Goomba shoe, and it didn't mesh well with the other course elements. Doing this jump becomes a bit harder if Phanto is still chasing you. Here's the completed course in action, and thank you for watching.